over. Okay. And this. All right, guys, welcome back to my fruit feast challenge. Let's see, what is today? What is today? Started this January the 11th. It has been today is day 18 of the fruit feast challenge. I have some medley of fruit here today. That's good. Hopefully you're eating your fruit. You know, hopefully you're staying hydrated. Hopefully you are putting your health first because it's important. Every day is a choice. Every day is a process, but you know, it's worth it at the end. It's worth it to reset yourself and get yourself to a place where your body can really like enjoy life and you can enjoy life. So yeah, I'm gonna sit here and chit chat for you with you for a bit. I'm not gonna say the whole 30 minutes, but one sec. Okay, so let's get into it. So the other day I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers, A Healthy Alternative, Chris James. He is my brother. I really believe he is like my older brother, even though, you know, he doesn't know my age. I don't know his, but I see him as my, I'm gonna just say brother. He did this amazing live, and welcome to the live. He did this amazing live about the food pyramid, and it just like blew my mind. Like, I've heard about the food pyramid before and all the stuff that has went into it, and how, you know, our diet shouldn't be based off of that, but he like really went in depth. It's like it is about fruit feasting. I have my fruit with me. I've been doing it for the last week now, but I'm on day, what is it? I'm on day 18 of just eating fruits. So I wanted to bring you guys along as I consume only fruits. This is a medley of dragon fruit, watermelon, pineapple, mango, and kiwi. And it's a great way to start off your day, or a great way to end your day, or a great way to be like in the middle of your day. It's a great way to eat throughout the day. Sick, I went to the hospital. Yes, for sure. Prayers are through the screen, praying for you that you get healthier and that you'll get better. Quick recovery. So back to what I was saying. I was watching my favorite YouTuber, and he was talking about the food pyramid and how it got started. Excuse me, and how it got started. And it got started by this Swedish educator back in the 70s. She created this food pyramid because of her government basically asking to find a way to help with the high inflation on food, and just to basically help divvy it out to the public, because there was constant riots in the streets off of, you know, food. So that's how this whole food pyramid even started. And I was just like, wow, that's how it started. It started off as something like, you know, he said good. It was supposed to, the intended purpose was for it to be good, but then it changed over time. And so that made me like go back to when I was a kid, because he even brought up like little things like Captain Crunch, Raisin Bran, which I loved. I freaking love those cereals. So I just relate to him so much. And it made me think during that time, always having bread in the house, always having cereal in the house, always having those type of white starches that were just horrible for a kid to consume. But we had this pyramid showing us like what to go by. And I've always been like a bread person. I always said that. That's the reason why I can't get away from carbs. I can just sit down and eat a whole plate of bread. And it made me just go back and think about that time. Like, I'm not just a bread person. That's something that was like pushed down my throat without even knowing it. It was something that was pushed down my parents, you know, eyes to see, because they thought that was the way to feed their children. And so you became a bread person because of propaganda, you know, and then the emotional attachment goes with it, because whatever you dealt with during your childhood, you attach that bread to it, because you, it's not just the bread, it's the food of whatever situation that you may have went through. So it just like boom, it was like, whoa, you know, this is like, food is so much deeper than just eating food. And another thing that he had pointed out a man named Dr. Kellogg, the guy who created the Kellogg brand, the cereal and everything. Cereal was like heavy in my household when I was growing up as a kid. And he was talking about some of the belief systems that he believed and the reason why he created that cereal. And one of the reasons was to like basically sedate a human being from their desires, their lustly desires. He wanted to make that cereal bland so that the person wouldn't have desires. I know that's like kind of weird. That's how I took it, but that's how it was explained. And so like all this is making me want to research it more, and I already have, but it made me think that, you know, food is not just food. It's like an ideology. Food is so much more. It's the person or the corporation behind it that's pushing it. And it made it make more sense, you know, why food is patent, not just because of money, but because of the ideology, the message that they want to send behind the food. And so it affects you as an individual more than just the fact that it's affecting you with raising your cholesterol. It affects you more than just with the fact that it's messing up your iron. It's messing up your daily walk. It's messing up your mind. It's messing up your spirit. It's messing up the flow and the waves of how your body is supposed to go throughout the day. Like, it's messing up so much more because it's that person's spirit as well behind it. And it really is, because they don't just make these products out of thin air. They have a passion behind the reason why they're doing it. They have a belief system that is ingrained in them, and they go by it to like their dying breath. Like they're pushing forward to the end. So all of that energy is being transformed into their product because it's part of creating it. There's no way you can get away from it. Like, there's no way, because in the meetings, in the conferences, all of that passion, all of the reason why the brand is even created is there. And so when we consume it, when we see the marketing, and we don't understand the history behind it, we don't understand the message behind it, we don't understand the reason, we're just mindlessly consuming it. And then we don't understand the ramifications of it. We just think we're just so addicted because, you know, this was part of childhood. You know, as a kid, you always go and get ice cream after the game, or you always go get popcorn to the movies, because it's just attached to emotion. It's attached to something that was happy, or it's attached to something that was sad. And you know, you always go to that in the event of something bad happening at home. It was your safe place. It was the quiet place. You know, you always got pizza after a really bad argument at home. You always got that, and it made you sedated, and it suppressed those feelings, and it comforts you, because bread more than not comforts you. And so it puts you in that state, and it puts you into that comfort, and you can't get away from it. So you grow up and you become an adult, and you resort back to doing the same things, and then you're able to find new things as an adult to, you know, sedate yourself and cope with yourself, such as, you know, vices that you may partake in. And maybe you don't do them heavily, but maybe it's every once in a while. Maybe it's sometimes with those comfort foods, or maybe it's sometimes with those celebrations. And then you just get to see, when you take a step back, you know, take a step back from being in the picture, is that the whole picture of the thing is that you're in this like little matrix, this little matrix that was created for you, this little matrix that was created to control you and to put you in this line of like of obedience. And like when you have the power to finally step away because maybe something bad happens, maybe your health actually starts to deteriorate and you can't live life, maybe like that's the time to step back and see that matrix that you've been put in and break away from it and really choose to wake up and really choose to do something about it. And that's all really what I got from his video. Is like, it is so much more deeper, and it does keep going, the rabbit hole keeps going further and further and further and further. But it's like, you know, you can keep going further, you can keep finding information, or you can choose to stop and choose to just be in la la land and just think, you know, they know what's best for me, so I'm gonna go back that. Or you can choose to be accountable and, you know, hold yourself accountable and say that I'm gonna take my health in my own hands, and I'm gonna be like, I'm going to be serious with myself. I'm gonna take myself serious because you're worth it. Like, you're worth it to put your health first. And thank you guys for joining the live. Thanks for the love and the support. I appreciate that. But you're worth it, you know, to do the research and understand. And I feel like just finding out about the pyramid and how it's changed. It's changed a couple of times since it was created, but that's what we go by, and it's not even something that we're supposed to go by. And then thinking of a bigger picture, realizing how much it affected me as a kid, you know, it affected me as a kid. Like, I remember just eating bread by itself. And I remember, you know, just eating cereal in the morning and at night, because that's kind of, maybe that was all that was there. I just remember those certain things, and it really makes you realize that it's not just the fact that you can't go on a diet, that you can't stick to it, that you can't figure out how to lose weight because you're just not strong enough. It's so many things that have been piled up over time that you don't even realize that has been piled up on you for you to have to release and take it off. And the way that you release it and take it off is by choosing yourself every day, is by choosing the healthy food every day, consuming it every day. That's the way that you release it. Because, you know, with fruit, especially over veggies, it's it goes quickly through your body. It passes quickly through your body. Excuse me. So you're always releasing. You're always having to use the restroom. And so in that sense, you have to think, you know, you're always releasing whatever you've been holding, even the things that you don't think you've been holding, even the things that you didn't even realize that were on you from childhood, from, you know, teenage years, from to young adult years, to adult years, to your older years. Everything that you don't even realize that is still holding on to you, even from past generations, you know, from like your ancestors, your forefathers, those things that have been still attached to you. By eating this, by eating your veggies, by cooking your food, you're like releasing that. You're releasing those things that you cannot see, that you do not know, that is following you all the way up till now. Like, you're breaking things off of you that finally need to be broken so you can get to that next level. And that next level is not just for self, it's to help other people, it's to serve Yah, it's to do his will, it's to fulfill the purpose that's inside you. So by consuming that, it's not a bad thing. It's not something that you're restricted now you can't have your pizza, now you can't have your Coke, now you can't. It's the mindset. When we choose our mindset and choose it for when we look at it a different way instead of a lack, and look at it in abundance, and just keep on pushing for abundance even when it doesn't feel like it, because we're not supposed to rely on our feelings anyway. When we push past that, it's going to be so much worth it, so much more worth it. And I even see that for myself. Yes, I'm still having days where I'm having cravings, and it'll just all of a sudden hit me that, man, I can't have some tacos, I can't have guacamole. And it's not that I can't, it's that I'm choosing, because I have free will and I can do whatever I want to do. But this time I'm choosing to discipline myself, not only physically but mentally, to push past. And yeah, that's just that's just where I'm at right now, and I just wanted to share that with you. What's the earliest memory that you remember? um Earliest memory that I remember of what? What do you mean by that? Um, but yeah, if you push past that and just push towards the version of you that you want to get to, the version of you that you know that you can get to, I believe that it's going to be worth it. I believe that is worth it. And excuse me. And you're going to have days where you struggle. You're going to have days where you know why you're doing this. But that's why you have to write these things down. You have to journal it. You have to know your reason why. It has to be bigger than what your feelings will take you through. Because your feelings will take you through a roller coaster. Some days your feelings are on high. You're great. You're like, you got this. And then some days not. And because it can be because of other factors too, outside factors, things can happen. Things, your whole day can go wrong. But are you going to choose your feelings in that moment, or are you going to choose the journey? Are you going to choose the goal that you wrote down? Are you going to choose that? And it's like in those moments you're creating a new you. You're creating a new self, and you're constantly just pushing forward to that better version of you. And again, it's not just for self, it's to give. It's to give back. Because we may come here alone, we may leave alone, and I mean, we are born alone and we die alone, but we have so much to give. And I just feel like, you know, taking the time and eating your fruits and vegetables allow you to release a lot of the things that you may harbor that is not good for you. And if you want to live a more free life, a more happy life, a more purpose-filled life, you got to do the work and take care of yourself. Health has to be important. And I would challenge you guys, you know, to think about your childhood. Think about when you grew up. Think about the foods that were in your household. What foods did you go to when you were sad? What foods were there when you were happy? What foods did you constantly eat after maybe games that you were in? What was like the reward system? How were you rewarded? Was it always with food, or was it with things to do? Like, how was it for you? And how did it affect you as you grew up? How did it affect your mindset? How did you make your choices in difficult situations? How did you make your choices in happy situations? Like, where are you now? And you don't, you know, gotta share it with anybody, but think about it. Think about it and really meditate on it and understand the reason why. Because sometimes we just gotta know the reason why, and that's just a start. That's just a start. Because then we can start going in and start digging and start understanding, well, where did this even come from? You know, where did this even stem from? I mean, you have all these pastas and breads in the household. It comes from the food pyramid. Why was the food pyramid created? Okay, it was about, you know, helping them ration food. What did that have to do with us? Like, why did they implement it on us? And then why did it get changed so many times over the decades? It's just so much. And then the money that goes into it, it's all part of being accountable for self and being accountable for your health. Are you going to choose to keep living in this system that is planned out for us, and it's getting worse and worse every day, just like in my other life. Japan has the go to experiment on animals by putting human cells into animals, human organs into animals. And for anybody to really logically think that's okay, like just common sense, just going about your day thinking, is it smart to put a human cell or a human organ into an animal? And, you know, I feel like the average person would say no, but we're in different times and different places. And health wise, I just don't believe that's a good idea. And that's the way that we're going. If we choose to just not care about ourselves and choose not to take care of ourselves, then that's the help we're going to get. And, you know, and whatever comes out of it. So that's just my take for today. That's my talk for today. Make sure you consume some fruit. You know, stay hydrated, drink your water, eat your veggies, try to cook for yourself. You know, think about your future self, not just yourself right now. And take yourself serious, but also give yourself grace, give yourself mercy, and love yourself so that you can love others. So thank you guys for joining my live. I'll be back tomorrow again for another one. And be safe out there. God bless.